Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Timeout Overtime on this, the Timeout Overtime YouTube channel. I'm Rick Arsenal. If you haven't done so yet, get down there in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. It's mainly Tigers, Pistons, and Lions tonight, as we are just about 24 hours away now from round one of the 2026 NFL Draft from downtown Pittsburgh. And I will tell you momentarily who I think the Pistons are taking with their first pick in the first round tomorrow night. Let's get a couple things out of the way here first, shall we? Baseball, very forgettable stinker for the Tigers last night. Best guy out of the bullpen was probably Jake Rogers. Yeah, Jake Rogers, probably the most effective guy out of the bullpen last night. They lost 12-4, and they did score 3 runs at the bottom of the ninth inning. Cater Montero was not good. And anytime your starting pitcher is going to struggle and he's not around very long, that's going to take a toll on your bullpen, and it did last night. Look, I thought when the season started, this Tiger bullpen would be adequate, if you will, good, okay, all right. Whatever adjectives you want to use to describe it. And so far to me, it's the only, pardon me here, I'm doing a little tech repair. There we go. Had a fly on the desk. They got, other than Kyle Finnegan and Kenley Jansen, you don't really have any solid, reliable relievers down there in that bullpen that you could count on. And like Jim Leland always said, you got to know what you're getting when you go to the bullpen out there. And poor A.J. Hinch does not always know what he's getting when he goes to his bullpen. You've got several stiffs out there. Where do you want to start? With Drew Anderson, you send him back to Korea. Emmanuel De Jesus isn't any better. They just Herder, it's not very good. Very. And like I said, the only reliable guys you have now in the bullpen are Finnegan and Jansen. Even Holt and Vest. You don't really know what you're getting when you call on them. And but they look, when your starter doesn't go very long, isn't very effective, which was the case last night, doesn't bode well. Doesn't bode well for winning that game. And Brewers, and they didn't. Fielding, that's another issue. How good of a defensive team is this? They weren't very good last night. So they're 12-12. I guess the good news is Cleveland already lost today. They got shut out by Houston. Houston 2-0. Houston, so the Astros weren't playing very well. And I think they were in last place in the AL West. They came into Cleveland and took 2 out of 3 from the Guardians. And the one game that the Guardians did win last night, they had to come from behind to do it. So that whole division just isn't very good right now. And look, you got Casey Mize going tonight, Scuba tomorrow. They can still win 2 out of 3. Okay. You don't want to lose tonight and fall back below 500 again. You just can't do that. And hitting wise, you've got a rookie. You've got a rookie who's probably the best hitter on the team right now. I don't know. I know we're only 3 weeks into the season, and it's early yet, but that was not a good showing last night. And of all nights, Bark in the Park night last night. And yeah, that game was literally for the dogs last night, wasn't it? It really was. So anyway, let's hope they do better tonight. Let's hope Mize pitches deep into the game and pitches every bit as good as he did his last start at Boston at Fenway and Scuba tomorrow. They come out of this 14-12, headed to Cincinnati. By the way, the game Saturday at 7:15 from Cincinnati is a nationally televised game at 7 o'clock on Fox, and that's free. That's free. Okay. All right. We still got the Pistons and the Lions to do yet. Let's get this out of the way. You know, my testimonial, I have no script when I simply tell you from my own experience what a quality sit down restaurant the Finish Line Family Restaurant in Hillsdale is. You won't find a better sit down restaurant in our area. They've been serving us now for the better part of 40 years, more than 4 decades. And they agree with me too. Uh, it's just where do you want to start here? The hours of operation, uh, anything, which would be 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. They're open until 8 Fridays with all you can eat fish. Once the weather, well, this weather is another thing. Once summer is here for good, whenever that happens. It appears as though we're a long way from that yet, doesn't it? You wake up in the morning and in spite of the way that not a cloud in the sky, and then here we get the thunderstorms. Seems like we have thunderstorms every day now, more and more rain. And anyway, where was I? When the weather gets good, summer's here for good, it's going to stay that way. Thursday nights, the Finish Line Restaurant will be having a classic car drive-in, and they will be open until 8 o'clock. Once they get everything ironed out and we have all the details, I'll tell you more about it. Okay. But it sounds like a great concept. So once summer's here for good, the Finish Line will be open until 8 o'clock on Thursdays. It sounds like a lot of fun. Classic car driving. Look, like I said, it's the best sit-down restaurant in our area. There's a reason for it. Award-winning breakfast served all day. Fast, friendly service, great family atmosphere, a lot of new menu items. They're all good, reasonably priced. And, I can promise you when you fuel up from food at the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale, everybody knows where it is. You will feel fully satisfied when you fuel up from food at the Finish Line. You'll always finish first. And after you've had a great meal and you paid your bill, when you walk out that door, you will have a smile on your face and you'll feel completely satisfied and you'll be very happy. Okay? I promise you that. I want to see you there. Okay? All right. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance. I've got a question for seniors here. Have you got your playbook ready for Medicare? Seniors, do you? Don't let healthcare costs bench you this year. We're calling an audible with Joe Root at Barrett Insurance to help you navigate Medicare and health insurance. Whether you're aging into Medicare, you're in a special enrollment period, or you're losing other coverage, Joe's got the stats and the know-how to help you score the best coverage for your needs. Plus, you get a game plan for retirement healthcare costs. Okay? Now, what about businesses? Businesses don't get sacked. Joe's got group health coverage options for you too. Give Joe a call at 517-849-1000 or check him out at www.barrettins.com. That's all one word. You'll find him on the corner of US 12 and M99 in downtown Jonesville. That's Joe Rooted Insurance, protecting your dreams. 517-849-1000. That's BarrettINS.com. Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale. The only place in our area to go for tech services. Okay? There's no other place to go. This is the place. 37 Walton Street, 517-610-5372, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive on Walton Street there, right off the alley. You can't miss it. Anything at all, any tech service needs at all. Tim Lately and his staff, they're more than capable of resolving any tech issues you may have. Computers new or used, flat screen TV, mounting programming set up. Perhaps you're changing internet providers, you need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Get in there and see them at 37 Walton Street in downtown Hillsdale. 517-610-5372, or better yet, get in there and see them. Like I said, 37 Waldo Street. Tell them Rick and Miggy sent you. Thank you very much. So, Pistons tonight. After a stinker of a game, they might have played their worst game of the season on Sunday night. Can't get any worse than that. Did the week off hurt them? And the fact that the Magic were playing these play-in games last week? I'd like to think so. I'm still very surprised at how they looked. Anyway, it's a must-win tonight. You don't want to go back down to Orlando down 2-0. It's pretty much over after that. I guess if there's any what's the word I'm looking for here? If there's any consolation in the fact that the Knicks and the Hawks are now tied at a game apiece after two games in New York. The Celtics and the Sixers are now tied at a game apiece after 2 games in Boston. San Antonio is now tied in their series with what is it, Minnesota? I think so. They're tied 1 game apiece. Problem there is Victor Wembanyama fell and hit his head last night. He's in concussion protocol. I don't know how long he's going to be out. So we'll see. I expect him to win tonight by double digits. I think you'll see an entirely different team tonight. Okay, you better. And I think Jalen Durham will be better tonight too. And they got to play better defensively, and I think they will. I think they have the Pistons' attention now. Orlando might be the best HC team you'll ever see. These guys are good, but I know right now 60 games, 60 regular season wins doesn't mean a whole lot. But at this point, it sure won't mean anything if they get swept or lose this opening round series. So it's a must win tonight. They got to win tonight. Okay. All right. NFL draft, round 1 tomorrow night from Pittsburgh. Who will the Lions take with it first overall pick in the first round? They're picking 17. I toiled a lot between 3 different players. 2 offensive tackles and 1 edge. Lay awake at night thinking, which one of these 3? Put the 3 names in a hat and draw a name out. I don't know. I came up with what player do I think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will agree on for that first pick? Fits the mold of the Lions more than anything else. Got it down to Monroe Freeling, the big tackle out of Georgia. Be nice to reunite him with his old line mate, Tate Ratledge. They'd be playing side by side for many years to come. Akeem Messidor, the edge out of Miami. He's good. Or Blake Miller, the big offensive tackle, all 6'7", 320 pounds of him, out of Clemson. To me, I think Blake Miller is the most ready day 1 starter of any of these offensive tackles. And this is a very deep class of tackles, offensive tackles this year in the draft. Very deep. But I just happen to think that Blake Miller is the most day 1 ready to step in. And I think he's NFL ready. Not to say that Monroe Freeling isn't. But I think if you look up the definition of right tackle in Webster's, I think you'll see a picture of Blake Miller there. I think he's the guy. Okay. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction for tomorrow night. Lions may have to move up a few a few spots to get him. Don't mind me. Tongue-tied right now. Might have to move up a few spots to get him, but 13, maybe even 12. They got the draft capital to do that. I just think Blake Miller's the guy. I think he's going to be your newest Detroit Lion. I think come Friday morning, if you don't stay up to watch it on ABC tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, they're picking 17. I would think somewhere between 9:30, maybe about 9:30, 9:15, 9:30, somewhere in there. Somewhere between 9:15 and 9:45, maybe. Depends on whether or not they move up or not. Anyway, I'm saying Blake Miller is going to be the next Detroit Lion. Okay, you heard it from me here. One more thing before we get out of here. This thing between Diana Rossini, former NFL reporter for The Athletic, say former because she has lost her job, and New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. If you don't know by now, the general managers meetings in Phoenix were 3 weeks ago, and they were seen there together. They're both married. They both have families. And after investigation, you know how rumors are, the Athletic let her go, dismissed her. On what grounds, I don't know. That was not made public. But she says nothing happened. But she has nothing to say in her own defense. Okay, other than to say that nothing happened. Nothing happened. But she's out of a job right now. Mike Vrabel had a press conference, a pre-draft press conference with the media. Before he took any questions, he read from a prepared statement, obviously by his attorney, saying that he's after some serious talks with his family and his team. Admittedly, he says he made a mistake. And that's where it ended right there. Several paragraphs. His head was down reading. Says he made a mistake. Talked to a lot of women already who are resentful of the fact that she lost her job and he didn't. Okay. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, and it won't be the last. Might have even started with Adam and Eve. I don't know, but personally, I don't even think Diana Rossini is that attractive. For that matter, Mike Vrabel is no Brad Pitt either. But like they say, if you're going to dance to the music, you got to pay the fiddler, Mike. And a lot of people are resentful, and a lot of women right now are resentful of the fact that she lost her job and he didn't. How will this affect his team? Has he lost some of the players in the locker room now after this? I don't know. What did he? Like I said, they're both married. So what do they tell their spouses? I don't know. Like I said, she claimed nothing happened. He says he made a mistake, implying that something did happen. Is he remorseful for it? He didn't say that. Just says he made a mistake, and we move on from it. I can see it was something like Laura Rutledge from ESPN, but Diana Rossini? Really, Mike? Oh, well. I'll let you folks out there, you pass your own judgment on him. What do you think? Okay? Now you know what I think. I think Vrabel may have lost some of his team over this incident. Just be thankful we have Dan Campbell here, okay? He doesn't get mixed up in things like this. At least not that we know of anyway. Good family man, good father, good husband. But shame on you, Mike Vrabel. And she lost her job and you didn't. Okay, that's where that stands right now. Be interesting to see on draft night tomorrow night in the Patriots war room. Mike Vrabel. Oh, I don't know. No comments from Robert Kraft on this either, the Patriots owner, but so it goes. Anyway, that's going to do it. Where are we here? Until Friday, we'll talk about the newest Lion, and we'll know where the Pistons stand. Either lead or be down 2 games, or the series will be tied. Games 3 and 4 are in Orlando, I believe, on Saturday and Monday. The game is on ESPN tonight at 7 o'clock. So, nationally televised game. They better win tonight, okay? And you know who I think the Lions are going to take. If you got in late, I think Blake Miller will be the newest Detroit Lion. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and listening. So until Friday, don't forget Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 here locally at WCSR 92.1 FM with Jet and Andy on the Timeout Show. So until Friday, then I will simply bid you all a very pleasant good evening. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Remember to please treat each other with respect. So until Friday, have a pleasant evening and so long, everybody. Bye-bye.